Well, the stage is set as these two wonderful players, the two finalists for the women's singles, take their final walk down the walk of champions, looking to try and add to the names that are currently there. One of them, of course, will, because neither of these two terrific players has won the Australian Open. Petra, of course, has won Wimbledon a couple of times. Naomi with that magical night in New York, winning the US Open. But this will be a first here in Melbourne.
Welcome to the Australian Open Women's Singles Final. Introducing first to Rod Laver Arena, two-time Wimbledon champion from Czech Republic, Petra Kvitova. And her opponent, looking to win back-to-back majors. US Open champion from Japan, Naomi Osaka.
What a moment. Fans have been filing into this magical stadium named after a true tennis legend. A place which is also a true treasure cave of tennis memories. And these fans enter tonight looking forward to another enchanted night of tennis. And we'll be watching two women who have captured the world of sport, not just tennis, with their own unique, captivating individual stories. And it will be a day of firsts. Whoever wins will not only collect their first Australian Open title, but will become the best female player on the planet for the first time in their respective careers as well. It's special, it always is a major final, but this has so much more to it as well. So much to admire from both these women. And Naomi Osaka, one of the great stories in the last 12 months. Her rise up the rankings has been mesmerizing.
So, same conditions, just a reminder about Hawkeye. And we have the 151, so you have 60 seconds after I call time to be ready by the baseline. Okay, any questions? No? Linda?
Rod Laver or ANZ?
Winner was selected to toss the coin for her involvement and performance in tennis Super Tennis program.
It's your choice. Serve?
I stay.
You stay? And photo, please. That side, please.
Let's give it up for young Kalina as she makes her way off court.
Shots that will be sent around the globe. Delighted to say that alongside me for the women's final will be Casey Delacqua. Thank you for joining me. Nerves down on the court, nerves in the commentary box. This is a big night for women's tennis, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, Mark. It's a huge night. It's a Grand Slam final. We know that both of these women have won Grand Slams previously, but not an Australian Open title, so a lot up for grabs.
There you can see the turn of the tape for Kvitova. First time she's through to a hardcore major final, and playing, of course, for the world #1 ranking as well. Has been as high as 2, but there's so much more behind her story, of course, from what happened when she was at home, when she had the intruder, the stabbing in her playing hand, and her remarkable rise back up the rankings. She has been doing a fair bit of work, as you can see there, getting through to this final, but certainly not as much as her opponent tonight. She will be the fresher of the two. Joint second in terms of games lost, fewest games lost for Kvitova to get through to this stage, along with Steffi Graf, who managed 24 back in 1989. For this US Open champion, it's been another fantastic Grand Slam tournament. We saw her title-winning pedigree in Indian Wells last year when she took care of three former or current world number ones. She was a finalist after the US Open, and she has certainly not had any hangover from the celebrations in New York, as she has reached 5 out of the 6 events she's played subsequently in the semi-finals or deeper. So she has continued that form, and that has been the respective runs through for both of these two ladies. Casey, what takes your eye?
Well, I think from Petra Kvitova's point of view, as you can see, has not dropped one set, only dropped 28 games. And you mentioned the word fresh, and for me, Petra Kvitova will be the fresher player out here in regards to court time. Naomi Osaka, she's had to really battle through a couple of matches, but in saying that, it sometimes puts you in good stead for these latter matches in a Grand Slam to just have to find a way to get through, which Naomi Osaka's done.
First time they've met, so obviously they've seen each other play a substantial amount of tennis, but have yet to be on the other side of the court. Louise Azemir from Sweden will be chair umpire for tonight. Just going back to that point, how much or time does it take in a match situation, particularly one as pressurized as this, do you feel, to get a sense of what your opponent does well?
I think it's extremely important point in regards to this match for the fact that they haven't played each other before. I feel like when you've played an opponent and you understand their game, the power of their ball, I feel like you've always got a bit of a heads up. But for both of these players, not having played each other, I think it will take a few games for them to settle into this match. Not only how they're going to try and figure each other's games out, but also the nerves and everything that goes along with playing in a Grand Slam final, which tonight means so much. The title as well as the #1 position in the world. They would have plenty of information from their respective coaches in regards to how each other plays, but until you're out there, it just can take that little bit of extra time to get used to playing each other.
Both love to get on the front foot, both like to serve obviously well. Somewhat surprising is that Osaka has a faster average first serve speed tonight coming into this, but has a substantially slower second serve. It's going to be interesting, Casey, to see whether she changes that. Sasha Bayan was saying after the match that's obviously what they're playing for tonight. Was saying that she felt that she didn't need to do more with her second serve in her semi-final against Pliskova. I'm not sure that's going to be the same tonight against Kvitova.
Well, I don't think so. I think Petra's court position on second serve and just her pace of ball and the extra speed that she puts on her ground strokes as opposed to a Karolina Pliskova could cause Naomi Osaka trouble, especially on that second serve.
Naomi Osaka won the toss and chose to serve. And the warm-up.
So much anticipation around the grounds today. As you can see, plenty of fans have just come in here to soak up that anticipation, the tension of the moment, the magnitude of the moment as well. To watch it on the big screen out here, this Australian Open does such a wonderful job of promoting everything that is great about this sport, and it has brought everything together as well in terms of entertainment. And the fans have flocked through the gates once again here at Melbourne Park. All eyes, though, inside the Rod Laver Arena as the women's final gets underway with Naomi Osaka to serve.
Play. Love for 10.
Fluctuating fortunes in the opening couple of points. It's been the bedrock in many ways of her success in the last 3 to 4 months, hasn't it?
Yeah, the serve certainly has, and particularly the first serve.
Definitely going to be the area that Kvitova is going to look to get after early on. That second serve, she'll be well aware of the pace that it's coming at.
Here's a good 1-2 punch play, which we spoke about is going to be the biggest thing in this match in regards to both of these players. From the serve, the +1.
Much quicker second serve already. Great awareness from Osaka. And that is interesting. There we go. That's where our win predictor sits. It's had some ups and downs throughout the fortnight, the win predictor. It's gone with Osaka here. Very interesting to hear Sasha talk about the fact that she only felt she needed to hit her serve at the pace she did against Pliskova to already see in the opening game that she's going at 148 after Kvitova got after it. It looks like even at her tender age, she's able to problem solve so effectively in match.
And also to have the ability to be able to come out and execute it. It's fine to, I guess, get out there and put the second serve into play, but the moment that you need to up it, it can be quite nerve-wracking. But as you said, Osaka's awareness and ability to execute in that first game was fantastic. Talking about second serves, that's a very impressive second serve there from Petra. The use of the lefty slider, which is her favourite serve. Gets so much movement.
Well, I saw it for the first time this year, Kvitova, in Sydney, and was fortunate enough to commentate on her match against Kerber, who was unfortunate enough to take on Kvitova, and she was that good for 2 sets against the German. Good, convincing holds from both players.
One game.
Osaka looking to be the first player to have won their maiden major. She did in New York, and then going on to win the next one as well since Capriati back in 2001. She won in Australia, then won in Paris. Yuri Vanek, who is looking after Petra Kvitova, and again just applauding her decision to get after the serve, but nothing you can do about that. Sasha Bayan there on the left of your picture. wonderful job he's done. He needs to take a lot of credit for how he's guided Naomi almost to the world #1 ranking if she wins tonight.
Some very accurate, fast-paced serving from Naomi Osaka.
Metric, she's only lost 3 points when she's hit a serve out wide on the ad side in the entire tournament, and she hasn't lost one tonight. She has been spectacular there, and even against the lefty. 2-1. So let's take a quick look at this action that has been delivering so much success.
Yeah, it certainly has. You can just see here, keeps the left arm up right until the very end, gets good leg drive, good extension, connects at the very top of the height of the ball toss. This is an even better look here from this angle. Finishes inside the court. Really has been such an improvement in the serve of Naomi Osaka, and you can sense when she walks up to the line, she has confidence in her serve as well.
It's been the home of the Happy Slam now here at Melbourne Park, Rod Laver Arena. So many upgrades every year to this particular tournament. It is the benchmark for all the majors right now. It has so much to admire about it. And a terrific final in store here, given the way that both ladies have settled. She was born for these occasions.
Yeah, just her composure at such a young age. We spoke about not having that lull after winning the US Open, and to back it up and be here, she certainly knows how to handle herself for a young lady, Naomi Osaka.
It's an interesting battle out there, isn't it? The return of serve. You look at where Osaka loves to return from. She loves to shrink your space, your visual as well, in terms of where you can hit your serve. But will she get rushed being that far in front of the baseline is what we're interested to see.
Just see there, this is the big question that throughout this match we are wondering, will Naomi Osaka keep that very aggressive court position, especially on second serve? A little bit rushed there, push that one long.
No great surprise that Kvitova settled. Of course, she's won her last 8 finals that she's played in. And there was just a little example of what we were interested to see about whether Osaka would make any kind of adjustment with her return position. So far, she's deciding to do what comes naturally to her.
I think that record at Grand Slam, even the 2 from 2 that Petra has at Wimbledon, her 2 Grand Slam titles, is big factor, because in those two matches in particular, I remember watching her and never did you see a sign of many nerves. I feel like she's just such a confidence player, Petra, that when you get to this stage of a tournament in Grand Slams or any regular WTA event throughout the year, once you get to finals, Petra is such a confidence player and very tough to beat in finals.
Love 13.
Mighty impressive from Osaka. Well, the 192 was the quickest serve of the tournament, and this is the thing that we were interested in, the extra pace coming back from Kvitova's racket on returns compared to Osaka's previous opponents, taking her time away. That's the shot that I think you can't give Kvitova at the moment.
No, not the backhand return in the slot. She's hit her backhand so well since Sydney, since you mentioned against Kerber throughout that tournament.
Break point. Sticking true to what she's done throughout this tournament, serving much bigger on the break points, up 5 kilometers an hour on average. In fact, that was one of her biggest on break point of the tournament. And again, there's that backhand. The other thing that she's done so well is depth. We've seen the angle there a couple of times. And look at that. When you look at Osaka's previous opponents, the difference she's going to have to deal with. Half a meter deeper from Kvitova, potentially. As Osaka fends off a second break point in this game.
Well, I think in this point, she will want to stay away from that wide serve into Kvitova's backhand.
Advantage, Osaka.
Improvised on the return, it was instinctive, and it kind of drew Osaka in on her terms. Again, Sasha talking about trying to get Osaka up, crashing the net were his words. So that she cuts off that type of angle, wasn't able to achieve it there. Kvitova confused, thought she had heard the beep on the net. Didn't play the return at all. great defence from Osaka. You could see Kvitova had left her baseline and was well inside, and ultimately the Czech star got rushed. 3-2 Osaka.
She's done what she's done most of the tournament well. Played so well under pressure on break points, particularly saving a couple there. Once again, Naomi Osaka.
Just what the final needs, though, that kind of tussle on a service game, just to get the sense of how competitive this is going to be. There is the wonderful location for this evening's final. It's been a beautiful day here in Melbourne as well. Couldn't be more idyllic in terms of weather conditions for these players. And one of the great romantic sporting stories of recent times, of course, from the lows of the incident back in 2016 in the off-season for Kvitova, the intruder, the knife attack into her playing hand, to the recovery and to the renaissance and resurrection of what was such a great career, and thankfully continues to be so.
15.
Yeah, and it's been interesting listening to her press conferences talk about her second career. You hear it with various players, but for Petra, I think she really feels like she's had a different change of mindset, really enjoying being out here, grateful that she's healthy.
Oh.
Just feel that this match is already becoming the tussle that we imagined. Holding serve, who makes the most of breakpoint opportunities. Oh, and who also gets that first big hit in. You can see there, Naomi Osaka getting on top of the point early.
Well, just a sense already this is going to be a great final, just the way that the pendulum is already swinging here, almost towards Kvitova in the previous game with those chances to break Osaka, but now it's Osaka with the opportunity to get a significant lead. Cool as you like.
You can see Osaka was big points, is going to be ready for the out wide serve. But it's just so effective, allowing Petra to open up the court and go back behind Osaka.
Advantage.
Mary Pierce, former champion. Bottom right, Pat Cash, of course, champion at Wimbledon, twice a finalist here in '87 and '88. tantalizingly close to winning his home slam. Both players surviving scares on serve midway through this opening set. And a final that is perfectly poised.
It's been another part of Petra's game, isn't it? The discipline and the, I guess, her mental state in regards to being patient from the back of the court.
It's interesting, isn't it? This battle on the second serve.
Oh, yeah, we spoke about it before the match, didn't we? And spoken to so many people about it today, and it's happening. We knew it was going to play a big factor in this match. That second serve going down at 161.
And again, the toing and froing of momentum potentially in this final. Starting to swing back towards Kvitova. Here she has a sequence of 3 break points. She flirted with disaster there, Osaka, but she is fearless.
She is fearless, but there's no doubt Petra Kvitova at this point is doing a much better job on serve. That second serve for Naomi Osaka is letting her down, only winning 36% of second serves at this point.
Was that a conservative return from Kvitova on the backhand compared to what we'd seen in the previous return game?
Yeah, I don't think it had as much on it. But it's interesting that Naomi Osaka keeps going there, isn't it? I don't think the second serve to the tee is her preferred, just the way she serves and with her technique serve, but I'd be wanting to try and keep it away from that one as much as possible.
Three break points have been saved by Osaka.
Advantage, Osaka.
It's too good. Beautiful hitting. And now a real character builder again for Osaka. Staving off those break points, 4-3. Kvitova's going to rue those opportunities, you feel.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka, almost a bit of a let-off in regards to just a couple of missed opportunities there from Petra, overplaying a couple of those second serve returns. You saw Naomi, a little wry smile, probably knowing her fortune, but it's the nature of the sport. I'm sure Petra will be wanting a couple of those second serve returns again.
Time.
Kvitova just turning away in that replay, I'm sure wondering how that last game got away from her. She looked like she was going to take charge of this final, and obviously that's a crucial place for any tennis player to be, is up and running early with the first set under the belt, but particularly against Osaka as well, who has this wonderful record when winning the first set. Osaka, who's won her last 59 matches when she's won the opening set in it. Sort of stat that gets bandied around that I'm sure Kvitova's heard as well by this stage.
It's a really wonderful serve, isn't it? You can see Naomi Osaka moving over to the left even more than she was in the beginning of this match. Just here, she's in the tram lines already, but when Petra gets that serve going, she's got so much of the court to work with.
It'll be interesting to see. She's made the adjustment on the second serve to serve a bit quicker, whether she's going to feel the need to make an adjustment in her return stance.
Well, looked like there to me she'd already moved back maybe 30 centimetres, just slightly, but I think she's starting to think about it.
Kvitova's been adjusting. She started the tournament very aggressively. Quarters and semis had been moving back a little bit more, particularly on the second serve. You can see Osaka here.
14-15. Kvitova.
Nice blend on serve for Kvitova in terms of pace, location,
4 games off.
keeping Osaka honest.
Yeah, and just at 40 love there in that last game, saw Petra Kvitova use her first serve to go down the tee, and she's got to throw that one in to keep Osaka guessing and keep making that wide one effective. But a good hold.
15 love.
She is leading the tournament for aces, Naomi Osaka. Another one to the tally.
30 love. 14 love.
Does that so well. Gets down so low. You feel like it's a good return up the middle, but she's somehow able to neutralize even the hardest return, as that was from Kvitova. After suffering a little bit on her previous couple of service games, she flies through that one to lead 5-4 opening set. And a bit of scoreboard pressure coming up here for Kvitova. Can't afford any slip-ups here at 4-5. Otherwise, Osaka will be halfway towards getting her hands on the Daphne Eckhurst Memorial Trophy. Didn't flinch at all in New York, and certainly so far here is looking as though she's handling the massive occasion exceptionally well.
Time.
City of Melbourne being another wonderful host for another fortnight for all the players, spectators, coaches, media, everybody, as everyone settles in and watches this wonderful women's final with so much on the line here for Kvitova, serving to stay in the opening set.
Spoke earlier about the fact that they hadn't played each other and getting used to it, but this is, I feel like, at the point where they've played enough games now to get a sense of each other's ball, what to expect, and now it's about the real challenge and tussle of individual competition and working each other out. And basically just who's going to execute better now.
Who potentially may succumb to the nerves of the moment. First double for Kvitova. David Vidra, by the way, is the man to the right of Petra's coach, Yuri Venek. Everybody remarking on just how well she's been moving throughout the course of this tournament. She's going to need it.
There's the down the tee serve that we spoke about, just keeping Osaka honest on that side of the court.
Averages usually around 122 Ks down the line with her forehand. It's a very swift shot. That is an absolute gem of a drop shot.
That was pretty well executed drop shot. She's used the drop shot cross court, but this one going off, just catching Osaka there, but well executed.
What a stylish holder serve that was. And there is David. He liked that one. Well, because both players are right up on the baseline trying to take the return so early, if they don't connect with it well, they're doing a lot of fast chasing to the middle of the court, and they are susceptible to the shot back in behind them. Fast and furious, this one. Average rally lengths just over 2 shots.
Which, I mean, it doesn't surprise us, does it? But it's certainly been, all the matches we've called, it's been the lowest of any matches I've done. Tough return for a left-hander.
Naomi's had a couple of matches that have averaged 4 shots a rally. Most of them have been 3.5. Petra's certainly been, well, the 3.5. She's had one match that was under 3 in her 4th round. But this is pretty punchy. It was against Anisimova. She's not somebody that's also at the moment willing to stick around for too many long exchanges. What a run she had, though, and what a name for the future.
We've certainly seen some of the young guns really shine through here at this Australian Open.
Be kidding me. Well, it was worth the wait.
Oh, wow, what a rally from both girls, just moving so well at the back of the court, each other, just as we spoke about it. An 18-shot rally of the match so far.
Bit of a late call from the chair. Confirming it was out, but that game is out of Kvitova's reach now as Osaka holds on, assures herself of at least a tiebreaker. Both have settled, both employing the tactics that they wanted to coming out here, and neither so far has faltered on serve, and that was always going to be a premium, wasn't it? Hanging on to your serve. If you got a break, that was going to be a nice luxury.
Yeah, and I think Kvitova at this point has probably had, well, she certainly has had more opportunities to get the break. She's had 5, Naomi Osaka's only had the 1. But it's what we expected, and it's what we're getting.
Time.
Flying high over Melbourne Park. It's just a fantastic place to be if you love your sport. It's so close to the city, literally walking distance. These two players have been practically sprinting through this opening set. It's been so swift. 6-5 Osaka.
Love Petra. 59.
That's what you're just wondering about, the wisdom of standing in so close, because the whole point of it is to try and cut the angle off and be able to be quite forceful on the return. But she's actually still getting stretched at the moment, Osaka, by standing up on the baseline. That's too good.
15.
Yeah, we'll see what she does in this point, but I agree, sometimes it doesn't hurt to just change your positioning, maybe give herself a little bit more time, take a couple of steps back. She's still very up in the court though, particularly for a first serve.
Continues to threaten with her return position. That was a reprieve. We call the Kvitova forehand into the backhand of Osaka with the extra pace that she possesses, being a left-hander compared to what Osaka's been facing against all the right-handers this tournament. Was going to work in Kvitova's favour, but Kvitova feeling the need to change direction and was unable to do so. Set point, Osaka. Is so courageous, having just missed one on the previous point. Back to self on set point down.
And committed, good intent. Like you said, forget about the previous one and go for this one. Osaka may have not changed her court position in regards to being inside the baseline, but she's certainly taken a couple of steps over to her left, which is helping her here in this return game.
Oh, that was heart in the mouth stuff for Kvitova fans. And it's forcing Kvitova to take the serve up the tee, so she is just by planting herself where she is making Kvitova have to hit that serve. That time it worked beautifully. She doesn't care how she gets over the line into the tiebreaker, the relative sanctuary of a tiebreaker here, Kvitova. She just needs to get there. This is edgy from the two-time Wimbledon champion. Strikes her sixth winner off the backhand side. And it just might be the significant shot in this match.
Both players received one additional challenge.
Just one from Osaka's racket at the moment off her two-hander. Both players, although have had to survive break points, blemish-free on serve.
Osaka, again, just doing such a good job of neutralising after the Kvitova return. You can see the rice marsh. She knows what's coming, there's no doubt. But she's ready for it.
Got a little conservative with the backhand return, though.
Yeah, I'd even like to see Petra potentially take some of them up the line. Exactly like that. And just see how well balanced she was to be able to redirect this serve up the line.
Pace on the second serve. Interesting, just looking at her return numbers here. She's quite down today. 56% of returns in play. She's been 70% for the tournament, Kvitova. And I just wonder whether almost she's tried to go too big too early. She feels as though she needs to rein herself back in to put the ball into play, which is why we're not seeing as many potent returns as we expected. I think she thought that was a lead again. Had it too sensitive at times, it feels. Players complaining that they feel as though it's going off when it shouldn't, and Kvitova clearly feeling as though a couple of times in this final it should have gone off. And the Collins match, of course, it did go off.
4-1. Osaka.
Yeah, I know as a player you hear those things. You know when they are let courts or not, majority of the time. She's done well, Osaka, hasn't she? Just, I feel, getting in the head of Petra Kvitova on serve. All just to do with her positioning on the return, making Kvitova almost doubt where to serve.
That was such a cautious approach shot. I'll be surprised if that even made 100 kilometers an hour. We've been talking about how deadly that shot can be. It's like a dart to its mark normally, but she just wanted to make that and hope that her opponent was going to miss. We saw in New York that Osaka doesn't miss when she's given a chance.
Five, 2. Osaka.
Osaka on the cusp of taking the opening set. Different location, different opponent. but some things remain the same. Osaka is set up in a major final. She takes it on the tiebreak. She just looks to be playing with a little less anxiety more than anything else. I think the changes that you've noted in terms of a return position have definitely upset Kvitova's rhythm, but Kvitova definitely there towards the back end of that opening set was thinking about an opportunity to lose rather than going out there to win it.
Yeah, she got passive, there's no doubt there in the end. Petra Kvitova, you mentioned a couple of those forehands with much less pace on them, and it's not the usual Petra Kvitova we're used to seeing where it's almost all or nothing, but some good statistics here from both players. Just a fair few less unforced errors from Naomi Osaka. And it was Petra Kvitova that actually had more breakpoint opportunities in that set, so didn't take advantage of that. Probably had a couple of second serves that she, again, probably got a little bit passive on, but would like to, I'm sure, have again.
Any patterns you can see out there that Kvitova needs to introduce more of? It feels as though Naomi at the moment is just looking a little more comfortable in the baseline exchanges.
Yeah, I feel like Naomi Osaka is prepared to play her backhand cross-court into Petra's forehand, but as we said, we thought that might trouble her a bit, but she looks calm. Definitely no anxiety from the racket of Naomi Osaka throughout the set. Even when she had those break points down, there was such a calmness about her when she went up to serve. I think now it's up to Petra Kvitova to take it to Osaka and see what happens.
That's such a huge game, wasn't it? 3-all, love 40. 3 break points. There were some second serve chances. Didn't necessarily control her own destiny there, Kvitova. She's got an uphill battle in front of her. She doesn't mind going to 3 sets. She takes the E out of her name to put 3, saying that she always finds something late on in a match when she goes to the deciding set. But Osaka's been pretty decent over the distance recently in majors as well. Tower somewhere there, which is the second tallest skyscraper in Australia.
Second set.
Highest in Queensland. But you could see there the location and how close to the city we are and how close Naomi is to that wonderful trophy in the background there.
Love.
It definitely feels like it was a strategy that they've decided to come and play.
Yeah, it's not the most prominent shot in Kvitova's weaponry to use, but having good success with it. Naomi Osaka not recognising it just yet when to move forward.
There's a certain logic to hit it very early as your +1 shot, because where Osaka returns from, if she doesn't hit a winner, she has to back up. Weight going backwards, you hit the drop shot. Tough to get the first step forward. Right now, and you look at some of the more extended rallies we've had, and there haven't been too many, but Osaka's winning 7 of 4 in terms of points won when we've gone between 5 and 8 shots, and she's won 3, lost just 1 when we've gone over 9 shots in a rally. So Kvitova has some thinking to do right now.
about that skyline. Beautiful night.
Federer.
She would have seen a few good sunrises in the morning, Osaka, when she was younger. Land of the rising sun, of course, as Japan is known. Left there, though, of course, very early on in her life, 3 years old. Headed over to Long Island.
Again. Kvitova.
Service game that will
Second set.
settle some of the nerves that I'm sure are percolating through Kvitova's mind at the moment. The embers of another gorgeous day here in Melbourne. Will we still be here when the moon comes out and the stars? There's a good chance, you feel. There is the Eureka Tower, a shadow of it in the distance. Daphne Eckhurst Memorial Trophy, of course. Daphne, who won 5 Australian titles, sadly passed away through pregnancy with her second child. That's
15 love.
win predictor. It's been impressive, actually, since we've been following it closely recently, Casey.
I'm never going to question the win predictor.
Well, you might start questioning if Kvitova can kind of catch hold of a few of those returns, which were conspicuous by their absence towards the second half of the opening set.
Pressure.
That's tough.
Repeat the points.
It's a perfect return.
That's the type of returning we've seen from Petra Kvitova. It's the depth of shot.
Good. 30 all.
Consecutive forehand winners there from Petra Kvitova that only had some pace. Good direction. Gives her another break point opportunity here.
That is so good.
Not much Petra can do about that. I mean, she did a great job with the return of serve, I felt. that.
Serve's been such a big part of Osaka's success story, hasn't it? But I guess sometimes we get wrapped up in just the serve, not the bits that back it up. Not the glory parts like that, the aces, which have obviously been impressive. You've highlighted that she served more aces than anyone.
And the serve's been impressive when she served it too, for me. It's always under big moments, clutch points, where Naomi Osaka's ability to come up with a good serve.
There's that pace down the line.
Just
Softened up Osaka that time. An almost atomic looking sky right now. Unaware of the competitive inferno that is burning brightly below it, as Kvitova once again gets the opportunity to break. That looked as though it got a piece of the line. Great opportunity here for Kvitova. There it is. Mentally, more than anything, that's an impressive start to the second set by Kvitova.
Yeah, and I think on change of ends, she probably thought what we were thinking, Mark, was that when she gets an opportunity like this, there was no holding back, and that's the Petra Kvitova we're used to seeing, and it pays off, and she has to take that opportunity against Naomi Osaka. It's a big break in context of this match, isn't it? Because it's the first break. You can see frustration from Naomi Osaka.
Just fraying a little bit around the edges here, Osaka. Putting herself back together pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm yet to see Osaka let things unravel. She always manages to find a point like this or a serve that just steadies her.
on the right far sideline of what was called E.
Will it be her 8th backhand winner? Or will she have to face a break point? She's starting to find the precision she needs to get it past Osaka.
Juice. Osaka has 2 challenges remaining. Advantage, Osaka.
That's what we thought we might see a bit more of.
Juice.
Just that latish backhand at times going in there with pace, but hasn't really been the case. Maybe that's slightly over-ambitious from Osaka there.
Advantage, Kvitova.
The lovely fluid action of Kvitova finding the accuracy that time. Guessing on that forehand side. It's a fairly unique shot in terms of the takeaway. Sasha Bayenu's added about 200 revolutions per minute in terms of spin to give it just a bit more net clearance has certainly helped her, because she's still got the ability to get through opponents with a bit of safety built in. But it was the fact that Kvitova felt the need to just really guess to her forehand side.
Advantage, Kvitova.
It suggests it's got a lot of disguise attached, but then so is this.
Yeah, well, I can see the net clearance in Osaka's forehand, and it is a hard shot to read, but Petra's backhand cross court and the off backhand, that's up there with some of the hardest to read as well.
Juice.
Pressing so hard here, Osaka. Kvitova, who doesn't have the greatest record at Grand Slam level when she's dropped the opening set. She's won 9 out of the 39 times she's found herself in that position, and has lost the last 11 out of 12 as well. Sapide Roig, the only time recently that she's managed to come back from dropping the opening set. That was at Roland Garros last year. Already highlighted Osaka's fantastic form when she wins the opening set.
Advantage, Osaka.
That tells us a lot about how that lady's feelings. Osaka carrying the hopes of a nation on her shoulders, but more importantly, what Kvitova's feeling. Clearly feels second best in the rallies at the moment. Desperate for a cheap point there. Thought it got over for a second, but it hasn't. The lead with a breaker serve short-lived for Kvitova. We're back on serve. Applied herself really well there, Osaka, having lost serve.
Yeah, that was impressive there, that return of serve game from Naomi Osaka. After the disappointment of losing her serve, to have the ability to quickly reset and put so much pressure on Petra Kvitova's serve there. It's very, very impressive.
Great look here at the Rod Laver Arena, but everything around it as well. The Yarra River, we've got the player pod there. It's attached right in the front of your picture, which has been a massive success story, a good addition this year. Loads of space, very comfortable for the players in there. It's a nice wide area for the fans outside as well, who have been flocking through the gates. National Tennis Centre here, also attached to it, opened in 1988. And so nice for players, young Australians, to come and practice so close to where the main action happens. Much
Ladies and
to
gentlemen,
ponder there
take your
for
seats quickly, please.
Kvitova, a
Thank you.
game that got away from her. And a final that is delivering on all the hope and expectation that it had attached to it. So much attention on Kvitova, but perhaps more so on Osaka at the moment as well, given her one major title in New York recently. Such a kaleidoscope, Japanese star of talent, emotion, movement, authenticity. And of course culturally as well. It hasn't been always so easy for the family. So the father from Haiti and mother from Japan. Not an easy time for them when they first announced it to her parents. It's Naomi with her sister Murray. Took Osaka as the name because it was easier to be in Japan, to sign up for school and things like that. Took their mother's name. She has to make a decision, actually, or she's supposed to legally, by the time she turns 22, over which nationality she will be. She's supposed to, under Japanese law, you aren't supposed to have dual citizenship, which she has at the moment with the US. It's not strictly enforced. There are quite a few thousand Japanese who do still hold dual citizenship. There has been some chat about which way she's going to go, but we're pretty sure that Japan will be her choice if she has to make it. A few fireworks on the tennis court, and there's certainly going to be a few of those around tonight. Australia Day, of course, here on the 26th of January. Could well be Osaka Day, the way things are starting to turn around here in the second set.
Well, I think we missed the shot after the serve, but that was incredible. The amount of pace she had to absorb and what she was able to do with it to get herself back on top of the point. Only her third backhand winner, but came at a good time. She really has been a good addition, hasn't she, Osaka, to the WTA Tour and to women's tennis. Just her personality and, as you said, her authenticity and who she is, what she's about, how she goes about her tennis on and off the court.
Casey, we were talking beforehand about her court positioning on the return. and whether she should back up. But Petra, not with just raw pace on that first serve, and certainly Osaka's winning this battle. She is chiseling out the numbers on first serve points won for Kvitova, who's been up at 78% for this tournament, is now down at 67% in this match of first serve points won. That is a big challenge that Osaka's winning. It's got to be getting in Kvitova's mind here. Very few free points. And she is wavering.
It almost started it midway through that first set. Once Osaka got a sense of her ball and the serve, of where it's going to go in regards to pace, accuracy, Osaka has won that battle. And there's so much doubt in Petra Kvitova's head now. Where to serve? How should I serve it? What pace?
Lockdown in this second set, more than complete for Osaka. She's up a break of serve, 3-2.
Fireworks still going off there. Far enough away from the tennis that not overly distracting for them, or not really at all distracting for the players.
Good time to come to Australia. I come here for the month. I get New Year's Eve, fireworks for me, Australia Day.
Did you have a barbecue today?
No.
Did you have a snag on the barbie?
Sadly, I was Norman no mates today, so yeah, I had to walk along some kilda. Well, that looks like some type of show. Back there, just over at the Docklands. Quick wander through the CBD to the Docklands just to go and see the fireworks. There's many around Melbourne today. Of course, named after the former British Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, this city. What name will be going on the Daphne Akers Cup? At the moment, it looks as though it's going to be Naomi Osaka. Didn't get fearful in New York when she had the lead.
Please.
This is an important game for Petra Kvitova because on serve, she's doubting herself, but needs to continue to stay with Osaka.
Tough to completely push out all the negative thoughts at this stage, you would feel, for Kvitova. Things haven't quite gone to plan.
There hasn't been lack of opportunities for her, which mentally can also be a lot harder to let go of. It's important to try and reset and forget about them, but when you're in this position in a Grand Slam final, it's tough. Also just a few too many unforced errors now creeping in for Petra. Feeling the need to overplay, get on top of the point early.
Example of what we're talking about.
Osaka leads by 4 games to 2.
I mean, the composure of Naomi Osaka is just unbelievably impressive for someone so young, even at 2-love down. Just that ability to be able to say it's okay and get herself back into this position. 4-2 with a break up. Petra's almost having to now serve against what she normally does. Even that first serve, trying to go out wide. It's not her favoured serve, but Naomi Osaka's done that to Petra Kvitova, putting doubt in her mind where to serve.
Love.
Only serve that I think Kvitova could add in at this point is maybe the body serve. She keeps now trying to favour the out wide on the juice, down the tee, trying to mix it up. The body could be effective. She's almost just not even struggling with the out wide serve anymore, is she, Osaka?
Even that nearly went Osaka's way. Kvitova having to be as vigilant as possible just to try and hang on to this service game and just keep some sort of tension in this final. Oh, she's done that with a quite miraculous backhand. How did she produce that? An outrageous winner. Will that be the spark of inspiration Kvitova needs? Australia Day, it was always a question of whose day it was going to be, and well, Kvitova's done a good job there of just keeping herself in contention, just allowing the nerves to potentially still get to Naomi out here. It's kind of the last throw of the dice, you feel, right now.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka's won the battle in regards to tactics, taking Petra Kvitova's strengths away from her. And
Time.
Return from that stabbing incident was well documented, and it was also hugely successful for Kvitova. Played the French Open, lost second round, but then went and won Birmingham on the grass, beat Ash Barty in the final there to claim another title on grass. Some good success for the rest of that season, but maybe St. Petersburg, of course, where she won, was at the start of really great things. Doha was spectacular with the wins that she had there. Radvanska, Svitolina, Gorges, Wozniacki, Muguruza. That's when I'm sure she herself felt as though these kind of days were again possible.
Yeah, both of these players had a really good 2018. Osaka was ranked 72 this time last year. Kvitova came into this year's Australian Open, Australian Open ranked 28.
And both, obviously, as we have said, with a chance to become world #1, whoever wins this match. She looks more than likely to be a double major winner at this stage, backing up her success at the US Open.
It's in arm's reach now, isn't it, that trophy for Naomi Osaka?
Caroline Wozniacki's name went on it last year, and that is exactly who Osaka's looking to emulate. She will become the youngest #1 since Wozniacki, who made that when she was 20 years of age back in 2010. That will help her complete the journey. Kvitova, however, looking to become the oldest debut world #1 in the Open era, would surpass Kerber, who managed that at 28 years of age, 238 days. Kvitova, 28 years old, 326 currently.
Open stance position for the majority of this second set. Found the cross court, been able to pull some down the line, and Kvitova is troubled on that side on serve now.
seems to have a vigorous contempt for any type of nerves. When the opportunity presents itself, she is going to go out there and grab it with both hands. 3 championship points. Scintillating way to save the first one for Kvitova. We expected more of that from her this evening. And I think it's fair to say at this stage she's been outthought as well as out-hit.
Good job by Petra Kvitova. Just making first serves. Stepping up to the plate. You can hardly watch.
Torturous times. The inevitable seemed to be just about to happen, but in a remarkable career that's been Kvitova's, she's given herself one last chance to turn things around.
She has a few snaps, continues her routine. Petra Kvitova, as you said, it's now or never. There's one thing Naomi Osaka's done well, it's when she has had opportunities like that, love 30, 3 championship points already, she's got the ability to put that behind her and focus on the job now to serve this match out. She did it in New York extremely well. No doubt, still some nerves.
Time.
Quite at the stage of the Hingis final from many years ago. Set and fall up down, the American came back, saved 4 match points to win the title. Osaka's had 3, but she's still serving for the match.
Hot, wasn't it?
It was 130 degrees. First time ever that the extreme heat policy had been invoked. We have a different one this year.
Two brilliant backhand returns from Petra Kvitova.
Impenetrable facade that you see on Osaka's face, perhaps for the first time. Just thought we saw a little bit of a crack, but then you see a forehand like that under pressure. You realise she's still swinging freely.
Well,
15-14.
only her third double fault. It looked like a bit of tightness in that second serve. Just trying to almost guide the ball in.
Well, what a different complexion on this match right now. She's trying to block out the noise from the crowd there, Osaka. And out of nowhere, Kvitova, with her back firmly against the wall, the great champion, produces a wonderful returning game. And there you can see maturity for one so young, but can she put that to one side? I think she has made that.
I think she's made that too, but always nice to have that certainty.
Well, there is literally a graphic to show you the swing of momentum. A net caught in the rally as well, don't forget that. Fluctuating fortunes, and they're with Kvitova right now.
Yeah, and I've given so much credit to Naomi Osaka for her mental strength out here when she's been down, but for Petra Kvitova, she certainly deserves a lot of credit in that regard, to stay calm enough, aggressive enough with her tennis to now find herself in this position.
Slightly over-enthusiastic member of the audience there, but you can understand it. This is tense. And if you are fully invested in Osaka winning this, your nerves are fraying. Devastating backhand. Carved out a quite superb angle from nothing. And chisels out a break point. a shot from Kvitova under pressure off the return. Both players elevating the standard of play to something we haven't quite seen together so far tonight.
Advantage, Kvitova.
Every point, pressure field. Deep drama in the second set as Kvitova finds the line. 6-5, she leads.
Osaka has one challenge.
It's really, you can see her shaking her head, but certainly not best body language we've seen from Naomi Osaka in this match. Obviously there's a reason, but we have a very tense women's final on our hands now. Do you think it makes a difference that Petra's that little bit fresher, or just...
I feel like there's so many branches to what's happening at the moment, whether it's emotional, tactical, technical. Then I think freshness is also will be a part of it if they go to the third set. As ever, always a banquet of consequences when a tennis match gets underway with two equally matched players. That's what we were hoping for tonight. We've had that and a little bit more, particularly now. Osaka has had 3 championship points. She's now serving to take this second set into a tiebreak. And again, visual illustration of just how things have swung against her. The net court's now going Kvitova's way, as has the scoreboard since 5-3 down in this second set.
Again, right shot selection. Could have done with a little bit more shape and height over the net, but the net just catching the tape again.
Surely a helpless feeling on the side there. They know what she is going through at the moment, Osaka. The agonies of knowing she was 1 point away 3 times from winning the Australian Open. Now Kvitova 1 point away from taking this into a third set.
Please.
And she's struggling, Osaka, here to keep it together emotionally. And I'm certainly not going to criticise her for that. This is unbelievable. The comeback complete for the Czech superstar. A one-set shootout, not only for the Australian Open title, but for the world #1 spot as well.
Wow. What a match match we are witnessing. We knew it was going to be a good one, and it's certainly living up to expectations. Naomi Osaka taking a toilet break with the towel over her head, really needing to take the time to recompose herself, find a way to get out of this emotional distress that you can see is visible from those championships points that she had. It was going all Naomi Osaka's way here in the second set until she went to serve for it, and Petra, it was now or never for her, and she came up with some really solid returning. I would almost say Naomi Osaka was hoping that Petra Kvitova was going to miss a couple of opportunities, but she didn't. She played shots like this.
Kvitova waiting patiently on the side of the court. Osaka couldn't get off the court quickly enough at the end of that second set. Somehow needs to hit the reset button, reboot, and go back to what she was doing. Look, it was tied anyway. There's no guarantee that that was going to work. But clearly the chances that have come and gone are going to sit with her throughout this contest. A tennis player always travels around the world with a suitcase of memories. Some have a lighter suitcase, some only have hand luggage. And for Osaka at this start of her career has got a pretty good suitcase of memories, but this one right now is going to be sitting with her uncomfortably for the next 30 to 40 minutes. For Kvitova, this is a chance to do something that looked highly unlikely. And it would just add another chapter to what has been a remarkable story. Last final of a major on the women's side that had a match point, and it was turned around, was Venus Williams against Lindsay Davenport in the final of Wimbledon in 2005. We touched on the Capriati Hingis one back in 2002 here in Australia. That also, of course, in the final.
There's
obviously been in numerous others, but not in finals. There's been a few in the non-open era as well. Just seems like nothing is going her way right now. Tough to have a positive perspective if you're Osaka. This would be a monumental effort if she were to win this from here.
Well, it was wide. It certainly would be. It's so easy said than done, but she really needs to find a way to put everything behind her. And just continue with a very comfortable hold there for Kvitova, but just go back to the processes about why she got herself in that winning position in the first place. And you've got so much emotion going on here, having those championships points, but she has to realise she put herself in a very good position for a reason, to try and get back to that space, what she was doing on return of serve, what she was doing on her serve. But like I said, easier said than done.
Well, where she can take a bit of solace in Grand Slam player at the moment. She's on a 4-match winning streak in deciding sets, and in fact has won the last 7 out of 8 when she's gone to a decider, so that's good news for her. There's precious little of it around at the moment for Osaka.
So much more energy from Petra Kvitova, though, understandably getting that second set. Okay, you can talk about this win projector.
Yeah, but, well, the pendulum has swung towards Kvitova, understandably so. I mean, you have to take emotion into it, don't you, as well? This isn't just about forehands and backhand serves anymore. This is about lugging around a single solitary point that's detonating in your mind, and you're thinking about what you possibly could have even done on one of those 3 points differently. And somehow letting go of that thought, that will help the mood.
15.
Stability and traction at the start of the third set for Osaka, secured with that hold of serve. And for all of the talk about Kvitova's third set record, it isn't great at slams. She's won 23, lost 21. And in recent times, she has only won 2 of 10. But every situation is different, and this one quite unique.
Let first serve. Oh. Let second serve. That's it.
You're so right, Mark. Just we can talk about records and win-losses and that, but right here, right now in this moment, it's just a battle of two women out here. Battling their emotions, battling their tennis, battling their mind.
Well, you can see Osaka's kind of almost just trying to calm down too much. She's almost throwing too much water on the inferno, the competitive inferno inside her. Trying to find that mental equilibrium that she had for the majority of this match. And a bit of a switch for Kvitova as well. We have to remember that. As much as the situation's so much better than it obviously was down the 3 championship points, but ever since the opening set, she's been the hunter. And all of a sudden now, she's got something to lose and Osaka's hunting her. She'll feel as though she needs to stay ahead. And she's just opened the door here for Osaka. Given what's unfolded. 2-1 Osaka, final set. Wow, those 2 hours have flown by. And I don't want them back.
No. We've got an enthralling match like this on our hands, certainly. Happy to sit here for as long as we need to. Just a couple of passive forehands there from Petra, but Naomi, geez, like you said, considering what we've just seen, that was impressive.
Petra's going to be feeling a little low at this changeover, isn't she? She knows how much Osaka's spirit is going to be improved by that.
Time.
Osaka's spirit enhanced. And Kvitova's has taken another bit of a hit there. From the depths of despair in the second set, a revival has been special.
Find a seat quickly, please. Thank you. Love. Oh.
Mixing up her serve well, Naomi Osaka. 4 first serves certainly help.
Let process.
Well, I'm not sure she needs to play too many intricate shots like that. Instinctive, yes, but given what she's having to deal with right now, keeping it simple seems to be fairly effective. That serve has done wonders for her throughout the championships, and it does again. Interesting to see what nerves do. Just some little data from Hawkeyes. We see this particular winner off the forehand side of Osaka. Pre-match point, she'd been averaging 119 kilometers an hour on her forehand. After she lost those match points, it dropped down to 109. And sometimes it's difficult to see that nuance on your television screen. It just gave Kvitova more time on the ball. She kept a better depth. But Osaka here, asserting her superiority again in the final set.
So if she's probably learned anything from those 3 championship points, it would probably be to step it up, keep swinging, because I felt that, and statistically it obviously shows, but you could definitely feel she was waiting for Petra Kvitova to give her a few unforced errors, or a unforced error.
Oh.
Even though Osaka is up a break here, just can't help but feel this match is still so evenly poised. All rally situations from 0 to 4 shots even. Rallies 5 to 8 shots are even. Rallies now 9+ shots, pretty much even, just 1 point between them.
Osaka showing the ball on the left service line. The ball is called in.
Segment where everything was going against Osaka, firmly behind her.
Left, second serve.
But if there is one thing this match is teaching us, nothing is straightforward. One of her finest of the match. She's hit a dozen of those forehand winners. She's already produced one miraculous recovery in this match. She got a second in her as well, Kvitova. 3-2 Osaka, third set. Well, it was certainly worth coming in and getting your seat in front of the big screen to watch this particular contest. The undulations, the fluctuations, it's been edge of your seat stuff on Australia Day.
Time.
Australia Day becomes Australia evening as we look from the Melbourne CBD over to one of the great sporting precincts in the world. The MCG on the left of your picture, cricket and Aussie rules in there. Hammie Park on the right, rugby league, rugby union, soccer, and of course the tennis taking centre stage here. Osaka serving 3-2, final set. Such composure.
Osaka showing the call on the left, far sideline. The ball was called out.
Two millimeters out.
Oh.
Serve just sitting up
Osaka
in the
has
box
one
there.
challenge remaining.
Oh.
13-15.
I certainly wasn't expecting that forehand. The composure.
We were expecting more return winners like that. There's been a few, but they've mainly been in isolation. There hasn't been a collection of them. But another chance to add to that particular collection in this game for Kvitova. Break back point.
Gone to her favourite serve. Well, the one that's worked so well for her throughout this tournament. Big flat one out wide.
breathtaking brilliance from Osaka.
Osaka leads by 4 games to 2.
She's going to have no regrets about this game. The serve going after the forehand. Definitely didn't de-accelerate on any of those forehands.
And the safety that's been built in by Sasha Bain, her coach, coming to the rescue there on such a big point. Trusted it implicitly.
You can see Petra trying to target the backhand, get some pace into that side. Very disciplined from Naomi.
Hasn't opened up the court too often for Kvitova to use the angles, forcing Kvitova to play very linear tennis. Those options, she has forced Kvitova to try and do a little bit too much too often, and the unforced errors have come thick and fast at times, as they have again in this game. A chance for a second break in this final set for Osaka.
Petra.
Had a little bit more width here, opened up the court. Well, Petra Kvitova to work with. You said Osaka playing up and through the middle, but just pulling that a bit wider, giving Petra a better angle to take that one line. She started to find that serve, hasn't she? The rhythm and on the down the tee. She's had to. There's no doubt she's had to find that serve.
She is finding salvation through her serve right now. What a service hold. How to hold your nerve in the most extreme situation. Still trails though by that vital break of serve, Kvitova. Casey Gibbons, what's unfolded in this match, how easy will that be for Osaka to put behind her? She didn't do anything wrong.
No, she didn't do anything wrong, and that's ultimately what she's got to tell herself. But
how easy is that?
I'm not sure that she's sitting there telling herself that. That's the thing, and it's the battle of an individual sport, is you've only got yourself out there to get past any thoughts. Petra serve, as you said, helping her out there, playing against the strengths on serve, but it paying off. But yeah, Naomi needs to, again, like she's done throughout this match, really put aside any thoughts about opportunities.
Well, lots of action around Melbourne on Australia Day, but we have condensed our focus to the Rod Laver Arena for the last 2 hours and almost 20 minutes, and it has not disappointed. What else has this match got in store for us?
15 love.
It's definitely worth a challenge.
I'm not sure, it's a close one. It's your
Yeah.
last challenge.
If the umpire says it's close, you challenge it.
Yeah, for sure. And it felt good off her strings as well. And as a player sometimes, and Kvitova's not sure as well, you can see asking her box what they thought. They're sitting on that line. They were nervous.
13 love.
She had a sixth sense about it the moment it left her strings, and she was right.
Smart use of the body serve there on the second serve from Osaka.
We're back where we were in the second set. Osaka will be hoping this is not deja vu.
Particularly if she gets up love 40.
She's been a point away 3 times, Osaka. She's now a game away. Control, composure, and converting her chances at the moment with regularity.
And such confidence and belief in that forehand.
Great salvage drop from Kvitova off the return. There was no great plan here from the Czech player. Just string on ball, get it back.
And she did just that. Oh, don't worry. I'm as tense as you are in the crowd there watching.
Kvitova on the call on the left center service line.
Okay, just to
Rules
throw
call down.
something else into the mixing pot here, it is starting a little bit of light rain. It'd be almost unimaginable if they had to stop at this stage to close the roof.
$13-15. Kvitova has one challenge remaining.
She had a chance to assert her superiority in the match at 3-all in the first set, really. Love 40 on Osaka's serve, unable to do that, and pretty much ever since has been playing second fiddle to the younger opponent tonight.
Let
But she's applied herself well. And despite at times the desperate situation she's found herself in, she's kept fighting.
new boss place.
Has she found another route back into this match? She has to break the US Open champion. And it won't be easy for Osaka, will it? You've got somebody down there at the other end who's got a big reputation. She's got a big game style. She's been there and won a couple of majors. If the opportunity presents itself, she's good enough to take it.
She is, and as we see this light drizzle that you were talking about, Mark, it wouldn't be Melbourne if it didn't throw something curly at us in regards to the weather. Hopefully that won't stop us. But in regards to what's happened throughout this match, it makes it a big task for Osaka to serve this match out.
Well, you can see the rain that is gently falling here, and it is gentle right now. It doesn't look as though it's going to halt proceedings. I don't see the supervisor on the walkie-talkie. She's been a point away from that trophy. She's still a game away. Of course, those championship points came on return. And how well she served out the US Open final against Serena amongst that chaos. Unflappable, unperturbed it seems at the time.
Wow. Started off with a perfect serve out wide, and then that forehand.
What a privilege to be here to watch this. 3 more championship points.
footing.
A fourth slip spine. Naomi Osaka is the Australian Open champion. She is the new world #1, and she simply has the world at her feet. A second major in a row. Nobody has won their second major after winning their maiden one since Capriati in 2001. This is a special achievement, Casey.
Yeah, I don't think she can quite believe it. What a match. As you said, just privileged to sit up here and watch these two women fight it out, but she did such a fantastic job to just regroup after that second set and having those championship point opportunities. I think you can see how much that means to her, and sometimes the first one when you win it, it can be a bit of a whirlwind, but for her to back that US Open winner and come out here and win today, it's quite phenomenal.
And it's so important to stay thoroughly invested in these players' career, because sometimes when you just read off the varnished triumphs that they've had and you forget about the obstacles that they've had to overcome, the suffering that she would have gone through mentally there, it makes their journey even more remarkable. You look back and feel as though it was always going to be inevitable in 5 years' time that she won this, but to overcome those 3 championship points in the manner that she lost them, to then come through that final set, just adds a whole new dimension to her character and to her champion qualities. Although they were seemingly undeniable after the US Open Championship, that was a far different way to accomplish her second major.
Absolutely.